Hi students, I'm Una.
And I'm Scott.
I'm a PTE teacher from the UK.
I'm also a PTE teacher from the UK.
And we've been helping students pass their exams for years.
And now we're excited to help you pass your exam too.
Welcome to the Swoosh English PTE podcast.
Let's get started. Hi everyone, and welcome to the PTE podcast here at Swoosh English. My name is Scott.
And my name is Una.
And today we're going to go through another exercise for one of the exercises in the PTE examination. Today we're looking at the speaking exercise, Answer Short Question. So Una, what do you think about Answer Short Question? How would you summarize your idea about this task? Just your own personal opinion.
Well, I mean, it's, really testing your knowledge, this task, but the big thing students do is panic. Oh, I'm not going to know things about this. I'm not going to know, about this task. But it's not specialist knowledge.
No,
okay?
It's not. It is quite general. Obviously, it is a general knowledge test, really.
Yeah,
with a short answer. Think of it as like a quiz.
And it's the kind of questions that you will come up and the kind of information that you come across on a daily basis that everyone really should know.
There may be the occasional word which may be a bit more specific, but everything is. I think if everyone's got like a level of English required for PT examination, say you're falling somewhere in the B2 range on the CEFR, then you should have the adequate knowledge of the vocabulary to answer these questions effectively.
Exactly. So don't panic. It's not testing your specialist knowledge, just general knowledge that we come across on a daily basis.
Okay. Shall we get into the task itself? What about the overview for Answer Short Question?
Yes, so let's give an overview. So you have 3 seconds before the audio begins. So 3 seconds, of course, a very short period of time, but simply calm yourself, get ready, really focus. So I think that's really important in Answer Short Question, to make sure that you retain your focus the whole way through, because you are going to get 10 to 12 different questions for this item type.
There's a lot.
And it's easy to sort of just like switch off, and that recording for the question is 3 to 9 seconds. So it's such a short period of time, but you need to be alert, focused. If you miss the question, you can't answer.
I know that this task is actually the last speaking task that you will also do. So maybe you're completely brain fried from all the described images and retell lecture thinking, oh my goodness, what do I have to do? Remember, you literally only will have to say 12 words for all 12 prompts, as in 1 word each, and you're done. That's a lot less speaking than what you've previously done. So just maintain that focus. You're almost there. Well, then the writing begins, and it's a whole other...
but we'll not go there right now. But right now,
issue.
We're just focusing on those 12 questions, maximum of 12, and you just have to answer in, of course, we'll get into that, but just 1 word options. So, you will have 10 seconds to answer. So that's ample time for you to really say whatever your answer is and get on to the next one.
And also the prompts will probably be, they'll be around, let's say around 10 to 12 words. Some of the prompts will be in terms of the questions, so they're quite short. But remember, you only need to answer very, very short as well. Single word answers, ideally. You don't have to answer in a long question. Single answers or a short phrase is sufficient. And we'll emphasize just how important that is when we move on with this podcast.
Okay, so the main thing, like I said, with this task is to make sure that your mind doesn't wander. I think it's easy for this one to just sort of, go off while you're waiting on all these 10 to 12 different questions, but just act like every new question is a new task. You're like, okay, done, new task. You're really getting yourself back in the zone for every question, listening, move on, leave the last question in the past. I think it could be easy to sort of start, what you do in like pub quizzes and things with general knowledge questions. You're sort of like, oh, was that definitely the right answer? Or no, maybe it was this answer actually.
You don't have time to dilly-dally, no.
You need to just leave it in the past. It's like we always say, focus on the present. Very important for this task. Focus on that present question. Don't get yourself lost in what happened in the past or what's coming in the future.
Great philosophical advice there from Una. Very good.
Present.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's pretty much the overview of the method. Let's have a look now at the scoring for this task. The scoring is very simple. Now, you are assessed obviously on your listening. You have to listen to the question. You're speaking, you answer the question, but also in your vocabulary as well, because the questions here will be vocabulary related. So those are the 3 scoring criterias, not criterion. Sorry. And you were answered, you were getting 1 point for each correct answer and 0 for each incorrect answer. So nice and simple. So a total of 10 to 12 points for this section of the examination. So
very good.
Nice and simple for the scoring. We don't really need to say much more about that. So let's get into the method for this task. So it might seem very simple, this task, in terms of there's a short question and a short answer, but there are things that you can do to improve your listening skills and your accuracy of your answer too. The first thing that we should do, of course, is when we hear the question, take a note of the question word and the key words too.
Okay, so tell us more about that, Scott.
So you have a variety of question words that you might have in English. Some are more common than others. We'll go for the most common ones that you might hear first, which are a what question and a which question. So therefore you're looking for a thing. So a what and a which question. You may also have a who question, which is referring to a person. You may have a where question, which is referring to a place. A when question, which is referring to a time. How long question, referring to a time period. How, referring to a procedure or a method. And a why question, which is referring to a reason as well. So it's important just to associate. You're not going to really get a why question for this. Obviously, that requires a longer answer. But make sure you listen to the question word, because that gives you information and a clue about what the vocabulary word or form is that you have to answer.
That's a really good tip. So straight away, based on that first word in the question, you'll be able to, have some awareness of what it is that you're going to have to answer.
Yes.
So it's a really good tip.
So what and whiches would be the most common that I've seen so far. You're looking for a thing, but the other ones may come up, maybe not a why question, for example.
A where.
A where, and maybe a when as well too. You might be referred to an obvious name an obvious date, for example, or year.
Yeah.
And also, as I said, you're looking for the keywords as well. So obviously there's going to be a lot of information coming at you, but really all you have to listen out for and focus on are the key words themselves. So this is obviously applicable to many different PTE exercises, but also applicable to answer short questions. So here's an example of a question. What kind of animal was a T-Rex? What would be the key words in that sentence? And I'll say it one more time. What kind of animal was a T-Rex?
So what kind animal? T-Rex?
What kind animal? T-Rex. So even if you missed the of, the was, and an the auxiliary information, you can still actually piece together what the question's asking you. What kind animal? T-Rex. Your question word is what kind animal, and then T-Rex is obviously the big keyword for the answer.
Yes.
What kind animal? T-Rex?
A dinosaur.
It's a dinosaur. Ding, ding, ding. You get 1 point. So we can get the main information from our keywords in the sentence as well as the question words. So focus on those.
And it's important to say there that obviously the keywords or the content words are going to be stressed as well by the speaker most of the time. So, really listen out for the stress in the words that the speaker is saying, and that could possibly help you.
So also notice that Una answered in a single word there. That's ideal. Dinosaur. That was it. A single word or a short phrase such as a dinosaur as well is perfectly fine.
Yeah, so make sure that when you do repeat back your answer that you speak clearly and you don't rush, because you do have 10 seconds to say one word. So don't try and you blurt something out. Don't worry too much. You do have the 10 seconds. So, speak clearly, loudly, and make sure that your one word answer is going to be heard.
You probably won't need the 10 seconds to answer, but remember that it is there. If obviously you're thinking about the question, you've got a few ideas about the vocabulary that the answer might be, take some time to think about that answer and then give your answer. You don't need to blurt it out straight away.
Definitely. But I would say don't overthink. I think it's possible to really overthink it for this kind of task.
True, that is very true.
A lot of the time you might be thinking, oh, surely this answer is too easy. This is too easy, but likely it is just that is the case. This isn't trying to give you really complicated questions, trying to test your specific knowledge about things. So it likely is the answer. So go for it. Trust the answer that comes into your head. Trust your instinct.
Okay. I'll also just remind people as well that you need to answer in a short phrase or a single word. Consider the following two answers. What kind of dinosaur, or what kind of animal? That's the answer. What kind of animal was a T-Rex? Una said dinosaur. Someone might also say a T-Rex was a kind of dinosaur. Now, both of those answers would actually score you 1 point. So what's the need to say the extra words and possibly get tongue-tied, twisted up, even forget the answer that you were? Just say the exact word as it is and get straight to the point.
Yeah.
Dinosaur.
Might affect your pronunciation if you're also trying to, put in a full sentence. So
You may forget what the word is because you're trying to focus on how you delivered that response in terms of the grammar as well. So a short phrase is sufficient.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
so that's really it. And then click next, move on and get ready. Like I said, focus again, prepare for the next question.
Okay, we'll go through some tips about this task very soon. But today in this PTE podcast is a special episode. We're going to do a little quiz to each other in answer short question style. So listen to the answers and see if you can put the answers in your own time. We're obviously going to give a breakdown about what the answers were too. So Una, how's your general knowledge?
I'm scared.
It's awful. Her general knowledge is awful. Mine is
What do you mean? I'm wonderful at pub quizzes.
This is not a pub quiz.
Well,
though.
of course, this is not. No.
All right.
So this should be easy, because it is those everyday words that you come across.
Just
so
give everyone some examples about what sort of questions you may expect to have and how we're going to answer them as well. Who wants to go first?
So I will ask you a question, okay?
No pressure.
So I'll start with an easy one. Well, they're all easy, but yes. What do we call a period of 10 years?
So I was about to answer there. See, in a full sentence, all I have to say there is decade.
So that's interesting that you actually naturally want to say a period of 10 years is a decade. That's probably because we are constantly having students, we want students to answer in full sentences.
Yeah, pretty much.
In order to practice their English. So that could be that. Anyway, so you just need to answer in one word. That's
or
fine.
two words. Either say decade or a decade is
that's fine, using
sufficient
your
for the
article.
answer. So the key question there was what period, time, 10 years. That's all we need to know.
What do we call a period of 10 years? So what period, 10 years? Hi all. We're going to grab a quick cup of coffee. While we're gone, go to pte.swishenglish.com and grab your free PTE starter course, a gift to get you started on your PTE preparation. That's pte.swishenglish.com for your free PTE starter course.
My turn for a question now. What do we call it when the moon completely blocks out the light from the sun?
A solar eclipse.
A solar eclipse. So that would be a short phrase for that answer. We can't answer it in a single word. So that's, as we can see, a maximum of 3 words has been used for that answer. What do we call a moon completely blocks out from the sun?
Very good.
Well done. One point to it.
Okay. So, shall I ask you another question?
Please do.
Let's go for it. So, name the month that falls between September and November.
Oh, September and November. What comes in between? October.
Very good. So I think that's the kind of question where you could easily panic. You could easily September, November, and you overthink it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just if you're calm, then you'll be able to go straight away. Okay, September, November, October.
I think a few seconds is quite sufficient for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And that one was interesting too because it wasn't actually a question word, but name.
Yeah, name as well.
Isn't that interesting? Name so a bit different. Okay, so it's your turn again?
It is.
Yes.
Where do you pay for your purchases at a supermarket?
A till?
A till is correct. There's also another word we can use to answer that question.
A till? A checkout?
And a checkout as well. Yeah. So
very
there are
good.
2 potential answers. Obviously, they're synonymous with each other. Maybe you learn what a till is. Maybe you learn what a checkout is.
And sometimes that does happen where, there could be more than one actual word answer for the question.
So the question word here actually was aware.
Aware.
Even
Very
though it's still
good.
referring to a place, but it's a place specific inside a supermarket.
Very good. Okay, so shall I ask you another one now?
Please do. I love this.
Okay. What is the job title for someone who designs buildings?
That's an architect.
Yes,
isn't
an
it?
architect.
Yeah. An
Yeah.
architect.
Okay, so of course your knowledge of different jobs is going to be useful here, and all our students will probably know all the jobs. That's like the first thing you do in English, isn't
That's
it?
pretty basic in English. Yeah.
It's the first thing you do in
learn
English.
those things.
A to Z jobs. Yeah.
All right, let's go for one. What feature do pianos and computers have in common?
A keyboard.
A keyboard is the correct answer. Well done. So we could also just say keyboard for that, but a keyboard is, well, you type keys on a computer and you play with keys on a piano.
Yeah, right
as
enough.
well. Yeah, so good. Well done. Quick
Yeah,
thinking.
that was a good question. Okay, so any analysis of the question there that you'd like to go through? What was the question?
What feature do pianos and computers have in common? So I think our key words would be what feature pianos, computers,
Common. Very important. Yeah, it's not like what feature do they have, what do they have in common?
The key,
Excellent.
the key question words and the key points.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay, so sorry, I'll start again. If you don't feel like eating, what do we say you don't have?
An appetite?
Yes, well done.
I panicked for a second there. I was thinking, I don't have a hungry. I don't have food. I don't have an appetite.
It's an interesting question because I think this one could be confusing with the whole if you don't feel like eating, what do we say you don't have?
Yeah, what do you don't have?
So there's all these like negatives and positives.
So it needs to come there also. It needs to follow an article in that case as well. It needs to be a noun word. Hungry is obviously an adjective, so you need to say an appetite.
Yeah, it has to be a noun. Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't typically say a hunger. Hunger can't be counted.
Yeah. Appetite. Very good. Well done. Okay, is it my turn again? Should we do just a couple more?
Yeah, let's do 2 more each. Okay, my
Okay.
turn. So, what do we call a picture that a doctor takes to see inside your body?
Medical knowledge. Inside. X-ray?
An X-ray is correct.
Ah, very good. Yeah. So I honestly did think knowledge of medicine there. I was like, what? But everyone should know this. It's an X-ray inside.
X-ray is pretty common.
Yeah, we
knowledge,
use X-ray on a daily basis. So well, maybe not on a daily basis, but when you are potentially going to
skeletal
hospital,
image inside the body.
Yeah.
So we have what call picture doctor takes see inside the body.
Very good.
Would be the key words to
Okay,
that.
excellent.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll ask you a final question then.
Yes, please do.
So let me see, what will I go for? Try and pick a difficult one here.
It's not gonna work.
So which of these would probably be found in most homes around the world? A computer, a bed, or a TV?
I'd say that's a bed, right? It's probably the most basic thing that we can answer. Obviously, not all
Exactly.
homes have computers, not all homes have TVs. They're more luxurious.
Yeah.
But everyone needs somewhere to sleep.
Exactly.
So it would be a bed.
Again, you might think to yourself, oh, this is trying to confuse me. But no, obvious answer, a bed. So trust yourself and just go with it like you did.
Okay, so also
Good
you
job.
might have a multiple choice style answer question there as well. So that's very useful.
Yeah.
Okay, let's ask you one last question.
Okay.
What is the general term of paintings of your countryside or natural views?
Paintings. Natural views. Landscape?
Landscape's correct. Yeah.
Very good.
So we're taking pictures, or we're doing paintings. The aspect we're talking about is a landscape versus a portrait, for example.
What's a portrait?
Portrait is obviously a picture of a person that can be
Okay.
done nice up and close, looking at a specific subject rather than the overall view.
Yeah, very good. So a picture of a person's head.
A landscape, yeah. All right.
Okay, very good. So that's some different question types that you might come across and just how you answer them. So simply say that word. And, think about, at home, one of the tasks you can do for this. Again, and I've recommended this for other tasks, is, get a word and think about lots of different words. Word association. Yeah. Word association activities can often come in and can be really useful for this kind of task. Okay, so should we look at any more final tips?
Let's go through a few things that we might have overlooked a little bit. So obviously we had these questions and we're native English speakers. If some of these words were somewhat difficult for you, then don't forget on the day of the exam, you may be supplied with an image as well. So when you have the question, you might have an image which you can use to associate with the word, therefore making your answer easier.
Yeah, that was something quite recent, wasn't it? That
It was,
Pearson
yeah,
started to
that
introduce.
Pearson implemented to
Yeah.
make this section a bit more fair. Maybe some of the vocabulary was a bit too specific, or maybe it was hard to answer. So you have an image that you can associate with the answer, and that will
Very
make it
good.
easier for you to answer with. And also just a reminder as well that, like we did, just keep your answers nice and short. Shorter is better and more sufficient. You want to ensure that you're actually answering the question, so therefore it's safer. You're not going to get tongue-tied or you forget what the word was.
Yeah.
And also it saves time as well. Why add on extra seconds speaking when you can use that time going on to the next prompt? Who knows? Cumulatively, if you answer all the questions with one word versus a phrase, you could save a minute, which could also be the difference between several points in this examination.
Definitely, very good.
So it's very useful.
Yeah, so just work on your vocabulary, read everything you can get your hands on. That is going to improve your overall general knowledge and just those daily words that you come across and questions.
And it's also very easy to practice for this examination too, or for this task. You can obviously easily find quizzes online, study about your vocabulary, do quizzes with your friends. You could even go to pub quizzes and add in a more fun element that way. But also watch game shows, etc. as well to make it a little less dry and a bit more fun. But just a simple general knowledge quiz.
Yeah, just like general daily stuff. No specific knowledge required. Okay, so is that it for us today?
That pretty
Scott?
much wraps up answer question. Who won that, by the way?
Answer
Who
short
won,
question. I
who
think
won
it
the
was
quiz?
equal.
Equal?
Yeah.
Some are more equal than others, though. But well done. Great pub quiz. Okay. Thanks for watching today. We hope you enjoyed this video on Answer Short Question. Tune in again with us at Swoosh English for some more PTE tips in our PTE podcasts.
Thanks for joining, guys. Bye.
Are you struggling with your PTE exam preparation? Are you unsure how to get that score of 65, 79, or even 90? Let us help you get there. Please go to pte.swooshenglish.com and enter discount code PTE10 in order to receive 10% discount on any course.